It was the moment Wuhan had been waiting for. The lockdown ended with a stunning visual display reflecting the joy and relief of an entire city. It also marked the start of life's return to normal. The people here are now free to travel by car, plane or train, as long as they can prove they're in good health. Around 55,000 train passengers were expected to leave Wuhan on Wednesday, and that means it's back to work for railway staff.
Since I got off work on January 23rd, I've kept waiting for notification at home until I got the notice yesterday asking me to go with the first train departing from Hongkou Station today. It feels like normal.
The end of the lockdown is also good news for businesses. Industrial production makes up 45% of Hubei province's economy, with Wuhan its biggest car manufacturing hub. But most businesses shut down in January. Now, 98% of this Honda plant's 12,000 workers are back, but they're taking every precaution.
We conduct temperature checks more than twice each day in the workshop. Apart from that, we're also managing meals, clothing, accommodation, and transportation for all of our staff. We've closed all lounges in our workshop because they're confined spaces, as well as smoking rooms and meeting rooms.
But while factories are kicking into gear again, the 14% plunge in China's manufacturing activity over the past few months is expected to cost billions of dollars and slash economic growth. The Asian Development Bank says it expects GDP to grow 2.3% this year, its slowest pace in more than 4 decades. Around the world, Wuhan's lockdown has become the model for other countries battling to contain COVID-19. Its aim now is to show that its shell-shocked economy can recover just as successfully. Shamim Chowdhury, TRT World.
Well, for more, let's go to economist Anne Lee in New York. She's a former visiting professor at Peking University and is the author of the book, Will China's Economy Collapse? Welcome back to Money Talks. And now, after that unprecedented 11-week lockdown involving 11 million people, those restrictions have now been lifted. What's your assessment of those stringent measures? Have they worked?
Initially, it looks like it has, given that they said they haven't reported any new infections. And so for such a large city to go into lockdown, to have no new infections, that's pretty amazing, given that here in New York, they still are detecting more and more people are dying every day. So the Chinese have come a long way. And given that other countries have followed suit, I think that they have done the right thing. So, there's no other evidence that something else would have done better.
Now, authorities obviously now have to weigh up the prospect of a second wave of infections with restarting economic activities in cities like Wuhan and the wider Hubei province. Do you think officials will be able to do that?
Well, they are doing it right now, right? They have to see if things can start to get back to normal. People can't stay at home indefinitely. And so it's a risk, but it's one they have to take. And hopefully they're more prepared for a second wave now that more PPE has been produced around the world. More research has been done, so they know how to try to, slow the infection rates down. So with this preparation, hopefully cities like Wuhan can restart again.
Now, we know that lockdown measures in China and across the world are having a severe impact on the various economies. But do you think the Chinese government is doing enough to mitigate that impact on the economy in China, not only in Wuhan, but in China more broadly?
I think that the Chinese government probably can do more. So far, they're not handing out cash to the citizens the way that other economies are doing. This could, be a big help to a lot of private sector companies that probably are in danger of going bankrupt. And so if they want to speed up their consumption recovery certainly putting cash into the bank accounts of many of its citizens would go a long way. I think they've stopped short of that, but it's not to say they won't do it in the future.
Okay, Anne Lee in New York, thank you again for your analysis here on the program.